So I just got done watching the videos, the TED Talk videos for this assignment, and I thought what was really interesting was the first one with the woman talking to us. She talked a lot about how women are mistreated and how a lot of the poverty can be fixed with just the education of women and the promotion of women's rights. And so it made me think of like the psychological perspective is that those countries just feel um, like they're like women aren't worth it. Like she said a few times, a young girl would the family had to pay $13 for the young girl to go to school, and they thought, well, why are we having her go to school? It's pointless. It doesn't make any sense because all she's going to do is work in the rice field. So why does she need to gain an education? And so I think a lot of the problems with the promotion of women's rights and women equality is from that psychological perspective, this idea of women that they have that they don't need to get an education. But she talked about one girl who bought a bought a goat and sold milk with that goat, and so she ended up gaining um, gaining a whole bunch of money from it, and her family was able to send her to school, and she ended up even graduating from college, which is amazing. And she says that she attributes all of that to just a goat. And women have the desire to learn and to grow, but in a lot of countries, they just don't get the opportunity to. But it was inspiring to see or to hear how some women fought against the normal trend and made something of themselves and started their own business almost. There was another woman who gathered who started like embroidering, and her business ended up growing so much she hired her husband, and her husband started helping her out. And I thought that was really cool how women kind of have taken a stand and really want to get an education and better their lives. The second video was talking about just the simple thing of a washing machine, something that I take for granted for sure, that lots of women don't have the opportunity to have, and so they work hours and hours every day just washing laundry. And how in Han's life, how he remembers getting a washing machine, and how his mom was able to get an education, like learn English, just because she had a washing machine, because she had more time. And she was able to help her son gain an education as well, and she was able to read to him and talk with him and spend time with him because of that. I mean, just the simple things of implementing women in the workforce and helping them gain an education can fix so many problems. I think about like HIV/AIDS problems, and like in Sierra Leone, which is my country that I'm adopted to, the women don't breastfeed their kids, don't breastfeed their babies when they're born. They just give them rice milk, which is a huge reason why there's such a high child mortality rate. But if the women were educated and knew how much value that breast milk is, and how there's not anything better for a baby to be consuming than breast milk because of all the vitamins and things in it. If they were able to learn that, then child mortality rates would go down greatly. And if they were able to learn about sanitation, just those basic things can fix so many problems. And also, the woman in the first video talked about how even when money was earned, the men were spending it poorly, which I thought was interesting, that they'd spend it on alcohol, sweets, sodas, things like that weren't necessarily useful. But even if the men were more educated, I think that would make a big difference in the poverty, is teaching them how to use their money well and things like that. I just It makes me extremely grateful. At the end of the video, she talked about how grateful she was to be able to live in a country that's wealthy, that doesn't have that low poverty line as much as other countries do. I mean, it's still here, and I feel very, very fortunate that I'm able to, I mean, I live in an apartment and it has a washing machine and it has electricity and it has plumbing and has running water, while some places don't have that. And the odds that I was born into a country like this is amazing. And just kind of a celestial perspective with that as well is being born into the gospel. My parents were born and raised in the gospel, and their parents before them, and it's just amazing how I'm so blessed that I was born into the gospel and that I'm born with this knowledge, and the same with born in the United States, where there's much wealth, and that I'm never left hungry or needing or wanting something, and that as a woman I have the opportunity, even if I want something, to gain it. If I want an education, I mean, I'm going to school now and I get the opportunity to, and I'm grateful for it all. And I thought these videos really made me think about the things that I'm blessed with, and that the things that other people aren't as blessed with, and how I need to be more grateful for the things that I have. And I feel like other people need to do the same. And not many people think about being grateful for a washer and dryer, but I know I will be now.